Hey everybody, Tim Knight, and we're going to do some more viewer questions. And as before, we're going to do 5 of them, and there'll be some chart images along the way as I talk through these points. So let's jump in. First one, viewers sometimes call you a perma bear. What exact chart conditions would make you flip decisively long, and can you show a historical example? The perma bear label is well earned. Believe me. Yeah, don't deny it. I was born this way. And given the fact that 99.99% of the folks out there who talk about stocks are Burma bulls, hey, I'm happy to add little variety to it. So yeah, that's although I will say that, in my own life, whatever wealth I've created has ironically been from tech bubbles and the bullish environment. So it is a little odd that I'm so fixated on bearishness, but I'm happiest during bear markets, which don't happen that often. And I do try to tease out bear opportunities. I will say, though, that if one visits Slope of Hope, my site, and clicks on the longs portion of the blog post, there are thousands and thousands of those. It's not like I only talk about short stuff. And as regular viewers know, my thesis, as I keep calling it, is very bullish on precious metals. That is an asset class which I have long supported based upon the ratio charts I look at. For example, here we've got a couple of ratio charts of gold versus the S&P, silver versus the S&P, both terrifically bullish looking charts. And I think that for years to come, they will thrive versus equities. So yeah, perma bear, but there are definitely some assets I am wildly bullish about. So there's that. Let's see, what's next? How much weight do you give volume when confirming a Head and Shoulders top, breakout, or breakdown? What does an ideal confirmation look like? I think a good historical example would be the utilities ETF, which is XLU, something which doesn't get a lot of attention. This particular chart comes from around the financial crisis. It is a textbook example of a Head and Shoulders top, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It completes the top, it drops, it retraces back to the neckline and falls. And if we notice with the volume, when it breaks, the volume picks up. As it retraces the neckline, the volume dries up. And then as it falls, it really increases. So I'd certainly give it some weight. It's almost as important as the price chart itself. It lends credence to the pattern being valid and increases the likelihood that it's going to do what it's supposed to do. So yeah, volume helps. It's not required, but it helps. When two companies are in the same industry, have similar charts such as Western Digital and Seagate, what makes one shortable and the other one not? I would just say the quality of the pattern. Looking at these individually, Western Digital, which is WDC, has a very clean setup. It has a failed ascending price channel, and the channel goes on for months and months. It did try to pop higher. It got smacked back down again. And so I think that for both long and medium term, it looks like a really good short setup. Seagate, on the other hand, STX, which I'm not in, is a mess. Very similar businesses, but for whatever reason, it has shown such resolve and such robustness that it has really spoiled the quality of the bearish setup. And so just comparing those two, that's why I'm in one and not in the other. It's just a matter of chart quality. Next question. What would confirm that Bitcoin has formed a genuine cycle top, and what price action we needed to invalidate that thesis? It may have been validated already, to be honest, because I was watching this Bitcoin quite closely as it was grinding around 60 to 65,000. And my hope was that it would not only get below 60,000, as it had done, but stay below it. And what's happened recently, especially over the past week, is that it formed a base between about 60 and 65,000, very crudely speaking, and accelerated away from that and went blasting high toward 80,000. And it behaved a lot like precious metals have been behaving. because I usually dismiss this idea of digital gold. I would much rather have gold than Bitcoin, even though the percentage change on Bitcoin is much more substantial. Um, Old fashioned, I guess. I like to hold it in my hand. But in terms of what it would take to show a real cycle top, I would say getting below and staying below 60,000. It's going to take some doing because that base I mentioned between 60 and 65 is pretty firm, and it's roughly the equivalent shape-wise as gold is. And so, maybe they're right. Maybe this is seen as the new gold, and it's going to be a sustained rally on this. So my optimism about that being a big bearish top has really been reduced by this rally, and it would take a real failure below 60K for me to look hard at that again. The last question is when the charts conflict with market flow or macro explanations, treasury actions, political news, which ones gets priority? The chart does. And I don't say that just as a dyed-in-the-wool chartist. I say it based upon my underlying premise that all known information by all parties is already built into the chart. And the bonds, ZB, the long-term bond chart, I think it's a good example of this right now, because based upon Wednesday's announcement by the Treasury Secretary, what does the news and political news and Treasury actions, what do those say? Well, it says buy bonds because they're going to double or more than double their own purchases of them. And it seems quite bullish. And it seems that don't fight the Fed, even though they're not the Fed, but don't fight the government at least, and get on board the bond bull train. Well, it lasted a day, not even a day. By Thursday morning, the entire positive movement had been eradicated, and a lot of nasty press about Bessent and what he had done. So the chart rules because if you look, this has been in a 7-year bear market now, and we've completed an enormous rounded top on this, another one, and it looks very bearish to me still. I think this is clearly politically motivated, and there'll probably be more announcements between now and the election. My view is that the information's built into the chart already. Don't overthink it. Just focus on the price action. So that's it for this quintet of questions. Hope it was helpful, and look forward to answering more in the future. Thanks.